Welcome to Course Settings and Adding Content. In this video we're going to be taking a look at some of your basic course navigation. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is enter the course for which you'll be working from. Once you arrive to your course page, it should look something similar to this. In the center of each page is going to be all of the course content. At the top of each page, you're going to want to include all of the resources that you want students to have access to throughout the duration of the course. So this is going to include things like your syllabus, any instructor-student communication, rubrics, and anything else that you would see fit for this section. Weeks are divided into what are called topics. So each topic will be for 1 week. If we scroll down, we can see that this course has a total of 8 weeks. And obviously this may be different depending on the specific course that you're teaching. The next thing around the outside of the main course content is going to be blocks. So we have a navigation block, our settings block, and a number of other different blocks that you can go ahead and take a look at. For the sake of this video, we're going to be working directly with our course settings block. Now if you see right now, our course content in the middle is a little bit compacted. So in order to free up some space and make it a little bit easier to view, what we can do is dock our blocks. And so by doing this, we're going to expand the amount of space that our course content has. So to do this, go ahead and click on the left-hand facing arrow, and what this is going to do is move it to the side of our screen. So if you see, my navigation block has now moved over to the left-hand side of the screen. The nice thing about this is if you dock all of the blocks that are on one side of the screen, you'll see now that this area has expanded. And I can go ahead and do that on both sides if I would like. The next thing that we're going to take a look at is our course settings. So in order to access the course settings, you want to go over to your settings tab, hover over it, and click on Edit Settings. Once inside here, we'll look at the top section, which is our general section. In here, we're going to look at two main things. The first thing that you want to double check is your course summary. Now in here, if there's something in here, you want to go ahead and delete it, and you're going to want to include a brief description of your course. So for example, this one we could put an examination of collaborative and assistive technologies related to best practices and so forth. The next thing that you want to double check is to make sure that your course start date reflects the actual date of the course. After the general section, you want to go ahead and take a look at your formatting options for topic format. Now the number of sections is going to reflect the number of weeks of your course. So for example, right now we have 8 in this particular course, but say it's supposed to be a 10-week course. So let's go ahead and switch this to 10. And now if we save our changes to this course, if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, we'll now see that 2 additional weeks have been added that we can add more content to. Alright, so now let's go back into our settings tab, hover over, click Edit Settings. Obviously this is only an 8-week course, so we'll change that back to 8. And now let's look at the last and most important section of our settings tab is going to be our availability. Now by default, this availability is automatically set to be not available to students. So at the beginning of each course offering, you're going to need to come into your course settings and change this to make it available for students to view. So if students are emailing you and saying they can't access the course, they don't see it, chances are you need to come in here and open it up for them to view. And we'll save, and now this course is open for students to view. The last thing we're going to cover in this video is adding new content. So once you have your layout set, it's time to begin adding in your resources. If this is a course that has been offered in the past on Moodle, all of your resources will be transferred over for you. But if you need to add new resources that you found, you need to update anything that you have, or if you're starting brand new, we're going to go ahead and take a look at how to do that. So the first thing you need to do is click on this magic little button up here, turn editing on. And now you'll see we have many different options, and we'll go over each of these icons and their functions within another video. Two main ways that we can add new content is, the first is clicking on this button, Add an Activity or Resource. Through this, we have a number of different activities that you can add, as well as different resources. And note that each of these sections within our course, so we have the top portion of our course page, and also under each week, you have the ability to add it for each week. And the nice part about that is if I have to add something to week 8, instead of adding it way up top here and having to move it all the way down to our bottom section, we can just go down and add it right to that particular section. The second way to add new content to your course is going to be by simply dragging and dropping files from your desktop or a folder. So let's go ahead and grab this analytical discussion forum document, and I'm simply going to drag it over to my course. And as you see, now that I have this ready to drop here, a box has popped up for me to add my files there. So I'll drop that. It's loading, and now it's in my course. And then I can simply take it and move it to where I need it to go.